Sup people, Casual Talk here. This is going to be a quick video. I'm going to be talking about how common courtesy is pretty much dead and obsolete in the 21st century. I just came from Walmart. I'm pressed for time, and I'm just trying to get the heck up out of that Walmart because not only the 15 items or less checkouts are gone, but the self-checkouts are also gone because of theft. Understandable, I get it. So now it's to the point where the only thing available is the regular cash, regular cash registers, regular cash checkout lines, and most of the cashiers are older people, older workers. So to make matters worse, there's long lines. Most of the cashiers are older people, like people that could be over 50, 60 years old. There's not many young people, and they're gonna take their time. I get it. Going forward, I'm in a hurry. I feel like really saying something to the person that was ahead of me, and this was a woman. Knowing how society is and has a lot of favoritism to say things like, oh, women could do no wrong, women is angels, women could do this and this and that. It's a stereotype, right? Women is supposed to be trusted. No, there's good and evil no matter what gender, man or woman. There's good and evil. But when it comes down to selfishness, that irks to my core. Especially with a stranger. Common courtesy could go a long way. Going back to the story, I'm on the line. I only got a few items, and then this woman that's ahead of me, she has over 50, 60, 70 items, almost 100 items on her freaking cart. And she did not once look at me, and I could tell she knew I did not have much. I only had 2 packs of ground beef and a couple of weights to work out. That's all I got. I was about to say like, should I be aggressive? Should I be like, hey, excuse me, miss, I'm in a hurry. I really have to go. Can I jump ahead of you? Yes, I should have done that. But I also told myself, let me just wait and see if she actually notices, because she did. There's something called peripheral vision, and I could tell she was looking at me from the side. So I waited. Yes, part of that reasoning is my fault, but the way she jumped on the line, and it looked like she was not even in a hurry, because the way she walked out right after she paid for her things, she walked out like she did not freaking care. I was pissed. So she sped up. She had all her groceries. I could have been ahead of her and be like, hey, listen, I only got a few things. Can I please go ahead of you so that way I could get up out of here? I would really appreciate it. No, that was not the case. That's not the case. She deliberately, sorry, give me 1 second. She deliberately, purposely act like I did not exist, that I literally did not have only a few items, like I had less than 5 things. Purposely act like I did not exist, said bump you, because that's how I took it, and she went on about her day. See, this is why I said common courtesy is freaking dead in this generation. This woman looked like she was older than me. And the fact that she heard what I had to say even to the cashier, and I mumbled under my breath, but I did not care. I said it. A lot of people these days are freaking selfish. Strangers are even more selfish. I understand where we lack a lot of socialization, but I'm pretty sure if she feels bad or not, at the end of the day, she did what she did. What's done is done. Because if the roles are reversed, I got a lot more items than the individuals that's behind me. And they only got a few things. I'm going to let them go. I'm going to be like, hey, you could go ahead. I have a few things. You got a lot of things. You have a few things. I got a lot of things. You could jump ahead of me on the line. No problem. I'm not in a hurry. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And that would have been the end of that. It's like when you bless others, you can also receive a blessing back in return. This is why I spiritually believe it. But when it's the opposite and you're selfish, you can't get mad when somebody does the same thing back to you in the future. That's why I said, you know what? Whatever problems she got going on, God will take care of her. That's the only thing I said to myself. I'm going to rest that should be rested on God's hands, because at the end of the day, I don't know this woman, but what she did was uncalled for. People could say, oh, you're coming off as entitled. You're coming off as you're a narcissist. No, it's not about being entitled or being a narcissist. Sure, I could have said something, but she didn't even give me the time or chance to say anything. She purposely rushed when it was her turn. And she took her time to leave Walmart with her shopping cart full of her all her groceries, her hundreds of groceries that she just bought. I told the cashier, I'm like, Lan, like, common courtesy is dead. And I said, you know, if I was in the woman's shoes, I would have said something like, hey, I got a lot of things. You have a little bit of items. You could go ahead of me. And I told her, like, really, like, common courtesy is dead today. And I even asked her, are they no longer doing self-checkouts? Are they no longer doing speedy checkouts where you have 15 items or left? The cashier said no. This is an older woman. She had a problem holding my weights. You know, I felt bad about that. I told her, no, you don't have to hold them. I could carry it myself. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you see, business practices, they need to have it to where things are a lot better and more organized and more secure. But it's unfortunate in certain areas, some places cannot have the luxury to have self-checkouts or speedy checkouts. But a speedy checkout would be fine, but it's the lack of people, the lack of workers. It's the lack of people and the lack of workers that is available to do the job, because I understand they're not paying people a lot of money to run a cash register. And I completely understand that. It's customer service. A lot of people does not want to deal with that. There's stereotypes that comes with that. But you have to understand something. Common courtesy goes a long way, people. I brought this up before. I'm going to bring this up again. Common courtesy goes a very long way. It really does. When it goes a long way, you get that same feeling back in return. You get that same treatment back in return. Don't be upset if somebody that you treated wrong also treats you wrong back as well. And these are strangers. Now these days, nobody doesn't really talk to their neighbors like that no more. How common is it for people to get along with their neighbors? I don't even get along with most of my neighbors. Only one of them next to me, to my left, I would say, hi, how's it going? Once in the blue, but that's about it. Other than that, most of my neighbors I don't even talk to. Socialization is not as broad as it is. Sure, social media is where it's at, but a lot more people are cold and more selfish because of the media, social media, what people are being fed, the lies people are being fed, to keep people in the system, to keep people behind the screen on their smartphones. This is what makes society in America so desensitized to be so cold, ruthless, cold-hearted, and not care about other people until something happens to them. Now they want everybody else to care. That's not how it works. Yes, I'm supposed to love one another. I'm supposed to love others. This is what God will want for me. So I'm not gonna knock that. That's God's word against my own. My word is not bigger or better than God's. God's word above all the time, no matter what. No matter what, God is first. But at the end of the day, when people like that do you wrong, don't even be surprised if they get done wrong back. I mean, at the end of the day, holding the door for strangers, holding the door for another woman who is old, who's the elderly, helping the elderly out, things like that in society is missing. It's not that it's missing, it's rare to even come across that. Even if it's happening, some shape or form, God bless the people who's contributing to that, you don't hear about it. It doesn't even make the news. But the world that's around me, a lot of people are very cold, absorbed, entitled, narcissistic, and selfish. I have my ways of being selfish. I'm just going to keep it real. There's times I may be tired. I get it. You know, there's a balance to everything. But when it comes down to things like this, it's a stranger, and you're being selfish to a stranger. That's insane. That's crazy. That's insane. Anyways, guys, this is my rant. This is my video. This is just something I wanted to bring up and talk about. I was already pissed off. I was already annoyed, angry, frustrated. And the people behind me saw the look in my face. But at the end of the day, you know what? I'm like, I gotta let it go. I gotta let it go. I'm a grown man. That woman did what she did. She'll get hers. God will take care of her. And I don't ever wish bad on anybody, but God will take care of her. She'll learn for herself as well. Okay? And if she doesn't, that's between her and God. God will show her. Anyways, guys, this is Casual Talk here. Peace out. Let me know what you think.